Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra, and I make minimalist videos. So I'm really excited. I'm going to be turning 30, and I thought I could take this opportunity to talk about 15 life lessons that have really changed my life in these past 30 years that I could share with you guys, my subscribers. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it. Let's go. Woo! Number 1, cherishing the little things. When I was younger, I always was obsessed with success and the big things in life, the big milestones, and I didn't think the little things were as important. But now that I'm older, I've actually realized that the small things are the things that are really important. Those are the things that we remember the most, actually. When I spent time in China, when I thought back to my life in Canada, I actually thought about all the little small things that didn't seem that important, like riding the bus or getting coffee with a friend. Those are the memories that really stuck out the most. Number 2, finding beauty in simplicity. When I was younger, I thought more was more, and I like to accumulate and collect little things. But I have actually found that there is quite a lot of beauty in simplicity. It's very elegant and it's very calming, and I really enjoy it. Number 3, less is more. I have to thank minimalism for this one, but I have learned less is actually more. There's something very refined and unspoken about less is more. When you apply this principle to many aspects of your life, everything just becomes that much better. Number 4, race with just myself. When I was younger, I would use my peers to compare myself and measure out how I was doing and was I coming along in my life journey. But now that I'm older, I don't use that metric anymore. I don't compare myself to my peers. I just don't think it's healthy, and I certainly wasn't happy, and that's just not the way that I wanted to live my life. So now that I'm older and I'm in my 30s and I don't have some of the milestones that some of my peers have, I'm actually okay with that, because I think back to everything that I have achieved and I feel very proud of that. So I think it doesn't make any sense for me to get hung up on things that aren't in my life when I could just focus on the things that did come into my life. Number 5, moderation. In my youth, I have done a lot of extreme things. I've been an extreme minimalist. I've gone on extreme diets. I've been extremely frugal. But I have learned that actually moderation, I wouldn't say it's quite key, but it's quite helpful just to keep your sanity intact. I think I apply moderation to many aspects of my life now. I think it's okay to be disciplined, but a little bit of joy is quite okay. I don't have to be whipping myself on the back and driving myself as hard as I used to in my youth. I think that a little bit of moderation is perfectly okay and quite healthy. Number 6, be humble. I think I used to be a little bit arrogant when I was younger. I don't know if this has to do something with the Libra sign and being very uppity, but I have definitely become a lot more humble as I've become older. I have actually made it a very intentional thing to be humble. I don't take credit for my successes, and I realize that who I am is accumulation of my experiences and interactions with others. So for all the good things that have come into my life, I give credit where credit is due, and I don't think that any of it is my doing, but has everything to do with the help of people who I have been blessed to come into contact with in my life. Number 7, slow and steady. I think I learned this mostly with my YouTube channel and my weight loss journey. I really wanted overnight success. I thought that things happened overnight, but it's not the case. Things that happen really quick don't really last. Like my diet, for example, when I lost a lot of weight really quickly within the span of a couple months, well, lo and behold, I did yo-yo diet. So I think slow and steady definitely wins the race, and it is something that has really helped with my mental state. I no longer expect instantaneous results for my efforts. I'm quite happy with the accumulated low results, because I feel like that is more lasting happiness. Number 8, be kind, be compassionate. When I was younger, I was a little bit more self-centered than I am now, and I was a lot quicker to judge others. But now that I'm older, I tried my best to be kind, because you don't know what people are going through behind closed doors. Although they may be strong enough to put on a smile in public, you don't know what they're going through. So I have just kind of realized that it's just a lot easier to have compassion for others and to not judge others, and just to practice kindness to the best of my ability. Number 9, meditate a bit. This is a quite lovely habit that I picked up later on in my late 20s. It definitely helps to calm and still my mind. I noticed that in my 20s, my mind would race a lot, and I would do other things to try to still it, whether it be like shopping or over exercising or overeating or over social mediaing. But meditation is something that has really helped still my mind. I was able better to kind of control my mind rather than letting it control me, and I think that alone has been quite the blessing. It has definitely allowed for me to have better focus in my life and a better decision-making processes. So I think a little bit of meditation a day, or even just a little bit of meditation a week, is a really good habit to incorporate in one's life. Number 10. Thoughts are your most precious possession. I have made a couple videos on this in the past, but my thoughts I have discovered are the things that can make or break me. The thoughts that I thought about myself, whether they were the thoughts that rose me up and encouraged me, or they were the thoughts that tore me down, they are the most precious possession that I have. I've decluttered a lot of physical material possessions, but nothing really helped me the way that decluttering my mind did. Once I examined the thoughts that I carried and the beliefs that I had, it was really empowering to see that I was the one who was making me feel the way that I felt. And I have found that the thoughts that I have actually been the things that have allowed me to eat. They have been the things that have benefited my life the most. So I definitely cultivate knowledge the most. I think that what's in our minds is the most important thing. When my mind was filled with consumerism, that is all that I did. I just went shopping all the time because my mind didn't know any better. But once I became educated upon things such as finances, a financial journey, a weight loss journey, minimalism, my life started to become a reflection of the things that were in my mind. Number 11, eat well. This one is a really important one for me because during my weight loss journey, I was really hung up on eating clean, and I think I took it a little bit too far. I tend to do that. I've come now to a happy place where I have healthy foods and I also have not healthy foods but are good for the soul, and just coming to a place where I eat well. I eat all types of food, and to me it's all just food. I eat food that tastes delicious and makes me happy, and I eat food that nourishes me and helps me along in my body maintenance goals. And that balance is something that I wish upon everybody, because the diet life is not the happiest of lives. All right, number 12. Tea for mind and soul. Just one of those relaxing little things. I think this one is more metaphorical than anything else. Now that I'm 3 decades old, I have realized that it is extremely important. Just like work and productivity are important, there's definitely a place, and you deserve, and I deserve, to have time off. The Swedish definitely got it right with fika time. I take time now to enjoy a cup of tea, and I just relax, and I just fully enjoy and relax myself without any guilt and without any nagging at the back of my mind telling me I need to be doing something much more productive. I tell myself, no, my downtime is just as productive and important for my quality of life. So I definitely recommend that to anybody, that you should take a moment to sip a tea, have a coffee, which is good for the soul and good for the mind. Number 13, letting go of guilt. I think I spent the majority of my 20s feeling really guilty and feeling really shitty about all of the mistakes that I made in my teens, whether it be like my financial mistakes, my dating mistakes, my career mistakes. My 20s was just a whole baggage that I kept carrying around with me. Like, why did I choose that undergrad career? Why did I date that person? Why didn't I take better care of my health? Why haven't I reached the goal weight that I wanted? Why is my YouTube channel not taking off? Why is my money not the where I want it to be? And it was just 10 years of just whipping myself on the back. So in my 30s, I think especially this year, being 29, I spent most of 2020 just like taking out all of the knots out of my heart and just letting go of all of my life mistakes and letting myself just breathe. I just didn't want to keep carrying around all of the guilt and all of the mistakes that I did. For 2020, I forgave myself. For everything that I didn't do right and for all of the things that I wish that I had done better, I forgave myself. I told myself it's perfectly okay, and I just stopped feeling guilty because it's already happened, it's already passed. If I learned a lesson from it, that was the best thing that could have happened, and I just didn't want to keep feeling guilty anymore. That I'm really grateful for that has happened in my 30s, that I have realized that mistakes are just things to learn from and improve from, and not things to be constantly nagging myself about and carrying guilt about. Number 14, shed our skins daily. I used to have some hang-ups about changing. I didn't really like to change. I didn't want, unless I changed for the better, I didn't want to change, and I was always afraid to try new things. But in my 30s, I have realized that we definitely shed our skins daily. Who I am today was not who I was yesterday, and who I was yesterday was not who I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and who I am today will not be who I will be in the future. So I have definitely come to embrace change and accept that I am always changing and I don't have to be who I was. And if I have changed, then that's also okay too. And just realizing that we shed our skin daily, and it's perfectly okay to not like some of the things that we used to like, and it'll be perfectly okay to like things in the future that I don't like today. And I have just made my peace with that, and this is actually a Zen saying that we shed our skins daily, and that is perfectly okay. Life is just change. And the last one, 15, be generous. This one was a little bit harder in my youth. I felt like I had a scarcity mindset growing up. I always felt like I lacked. I always felt like there was so much more that I could have. But in my 30s, I have realized that actually a more fulfilling life is a life filled with generosity. When I give to others, my ability to give never runs out. But when I used to think, I need this and I need that, there was always never enough. There was always so much more that I could have. And between living this way and that way, I decided that I would rather live a life of generosity because it's just so much more fulfilling and just so much more meaningful. And maybe altruistic is a selfish thing because you feel good when you help others, but I just felt like on a morality level, I definitely felt a lot happier when I gave and I helped than when I took. So I decided between the two, since I have a choice, I decided to be generous. And my life has definitely been a lot better for it. I feel happier helping my loved ones out. I feel like in your youth, you're given to, and when you become older in your 30s, it feels really good to give back to the community. And I would definitely recommend that for people who are older. If you're in a position to give back in any place that you can, even if it's just small, definitely give back because it's one of the best things that I have done. So that wraps up my 30 years on Earth, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!